Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in for another quick channel C.G.E video. Today, I am more than honored to be behind the wheel of this 2003 Mercury Grand Marquis, the last of the true and great American sedans. Of course, the Mercury Grand Marquis was not the only division, I guess, of this car. There was the main division, or main name that you recognize, which is the Ford Crown Victoria. That is what these cars are. That's what they're all based on. There was the Lincoln Continental, and then this Mercury Grand Marquis. And it was basically a brand-wide submodels in a way, because they were all the same car, but just with their different touches and different trim levels. Now, from the little I've been able to drive this car, I think it's awesome. It was the last of a sedan that's like this to be built in America, with a full frame underneath it and a V8 engine rear-wheel drive platform. The engine under the hood, as most of you probably already know, is a 4.6 liter V8 that was found in many different Ford Motor Company vehicles. This in particular one makes around 225 horsepower, not exact, and about 275 foot-pounds of torque, again not exact, and it weighs around 4,000 pounds, which is, you know, a good sized car. It's a big enough car. This also has a different rear gear than others. I know the Police Interceptor package had a very steeper end. I'm not exactly sure of the exact numbers, but this really has a cruising gear in it, and it idles along to drive down the highway. This thing is the smoothest vehicle I've ever driven, I think. It's right up there next to the Cadillac DTS that I've driven a lot. Although the DTS actually felt more performance feeling when I would drive it down the road, this actually feels more like a cruiser than that Cadillac DTS did. It's quiet. This is also, I would say, the quietest car I've ever driven. The Cadillac DTS, when you would get on it, when you would press the pedal down, you would get a really cool little exhaust note. And it would sound good. This car is just quiet. It is literally the definition of a Sunday cruising vehicle. It drives smooth as glass, and it is quiet as the snow falling in December. That was beautiful right there. That analogy I just used, wasn't it? I gotta get my sappy analogies flowing for this car. I feel like I should be talking nice and slow like Bob Ross as I cruise up and down the road in this car, if you know what I mean. The styling, I love how the exterior looks in these cars. It's real, you know, it's just a real car. When you picture a full-size sedan, you picture this. It looks real, and it looks beautiful, in my opinion. This in particular one is like a brownish, reddish, real deep, dark color. It looks really nice, especially when it's clean. It's really interesting. In some lights it looks red, in some lights it looks brown. It's a very unique color, which just makes the car stand out that much more. It is a cruiser, so it's got that body roll that a lot of cars of this caliber would be expected to have. In my opinion, they would be expected to have that. I keep saying in my opinion, but really everything I'm saying in these videos is my opinion, because it's just my thoughts on the car, essentially, is what these review videos are. Anyways, that being noted, also the interior, which is of course very important in this type of vehicle, is really nice. It's what you would picture a grandpa car to be, the interior. It's almost like a full bench seat in the front, but the passenger side and the driver's side, even though they're butted right up to each other and they're like a bench seat, they each move separately. So this has power seats, and I can move it back and forth, but the passenger has their own seat adjustments, even though they are basically one unit. They look like they're one unit, but they're technically not, is basically what I'm trying to say. The dashboard and everything, all the materials in this car, everything put together, especially at the time, was very nice, and it still, I think, is very nice. It's clean, it's simple, everything is just frank and very, you know, to the point to a degree, but yet it has its luxury and it has its nice little touches, basically, when you look around the interior. Another thing I also noticed is the steering is very, very light in this car. I personally like that. I love that feeling of being able to kind of toss the wheel around in my fingertips if I need to. And I like this car better for that reason, just so that I can kind of move the wheel around freely. I feel absolutely no body roll when I take a corner like that. Of course, it wasn't a high-speed corner, but I did not feel any questionable body roll when I did that. All right, let's just push the gas down a little bit just for the heck of it. It sounded good. It does have a nice little bit of a tone when you really punch it. This is, you know, it's more than you need, and it's enough to make it fun to drive, and it does its thing. Of course, this is geared very low, so it's not going to accelerate just, but you know, it's a cruiser. It really is. This is a cruiser. The ultimate definition of Sunday drives. That's why probably you see so many older senior citizens driving them, but I don't think it should be associated with them. This car is actually driven by a family as a family car with 2 kids. It is their main daily driven vehicle. This one has around 65,000 miles. It is their family car. What do most families drive? A minivan, right? Well, they did in the past, but this was a huge step up for them, and they said they're never going back to something like that. And frankly, I don't blame them. There's no way in the world I would drive a minivan, but that's a different video. That's not the point. I don't think these cars should be associated with the older crowd. I think that you young punks should get your butt in one of these, take it for a spin, because you'll see why they are so awesome. And it makes me sad to think that cars like this are no longer made, and they're just kind of a memory from the past, a blast from the past. I know these aren't made anymore. The Crown Victoria was made up through maybe 2008, which today, now in 2016, is like 8 years old, you know? It's an old car now. So it's kind of sad to see it fade away like that. But, you know, nice cars like this that are taken care of will live on. The memory will live on, and I really hope it does anyways, because these cars are worth every thought that's put into them. After driving this car and putting the time in driving it and stuff that I have in the past, and now for this review, makes me wonder, should I pursue something like this instead if and when I sell my current vehicle, and kind of wait to get something fast and sporty, you know? Makes me kind of think twice if it tells you anything about the car, that I would actually consider giving up my hot rod for something like this. I just love the way this car feels. I don't want to give it back already. I just want to keep driving it today. But I'm afraid I am going to have to cut this review a little short. This car is really nice. I love it. I don't know what else I can say. That's my honest opinion, is I love this car. It's really just beautiful. Beautiful is the only word I can think of to describe it. But anyways, guys, again, thanks for watching another quick Channel C.G.E video. Give it a like if you liked. Comment down below if you have any questions about the car. Anything you want to say. I reply to pretty much every comment on the channel. Again, guys, thanks for watching. You rock. God bless, and have a good one.